Hey, Mr. Claiborne.
Did you hear that bell go off? Wow. All right, so.
What's up, Mr. Claiborne?
Well, today we're talking about what's been going on in our world, well, in the world outside our home.
Right.
With the quarantines and everything. And you said you made some posts to
I did.
Facebook?
I did make a post. I made a couple of posts just trying to kind of put a positive spin on this, being that the media has taken over our televisions, our radio, and just trying to put a positive spin on it and help people. So just wanted to kind of share some of the things that was out there. And what I posted was, what's your best tip for surviving quarantine? And I had quite a few people kind of come in and comment on that. And of course, one of them said staying in the house, but I don't know how that's surviving quarantine. But
Well,
I guess if you're staying in the house and you're not out there with everything that's going on out there, it keeps you from getting the virus and you're still in survival mode, right? But
that sounds like one of those sarcastic remarks that somebody was trying to make.
potentially,
Yeah.
wine. If we drink wine,
Drinking wine.
drinking
That's
wine,
the means of surviving.
surviving the quarantine, whether it's to, I guess, calm yourself down, get you in a somewhat of a state of euphoria for a moment.
Yeah.
Wine does help you rest.
Yeah.
Just don't overdo it. Right?
But for some people, drinking wine alone isn't fun. So
That is true. But for those of you who it is, I say by all means partake. Just don't do too much.
Well, who's
Laughter.
going to tell them to stop?
I know that's the problem.
Who's
If
going
they're
to
by
tell them, hey, that's
themselves.
enough?
Because if you're by yourself, that's not a good thing. Laughter helps. So when I think, but it's not, but when you try to laugh, you can't just. Well, I'll take that back. Like some people are silly enough, they can just make themselves laugh. I have seen people like that before in my life. But trying to find like some comedy to watch, or I know we've played with Siri over the past few days and having her tell us some jokes, and that's been kind of interesting. That's been very
ha funny.
That's been very interesting.
Right.
I had no idea that Siri could be that person or that IA person, right? IA.
That's Saturday Night Live humor.
Yeah. But I think about like with us how we're surviving the quarantine. I'm kind of enjoying the inside time of not having to move so fast and the world just kind of slowing down a little bit. I don't like the fact that the freedom has been taken away, that I can't really go when I want to go, and if I want to go somewhere, I can't go because it's closed. But overall, just being able to slow down for a moment, I think this is giving us the time to really make us slow down and enjoy those things that we tend to miss out on. I know a lot of us full-time workers, we talk about how we don't get to spend time with family, how we don't get to do those things, but now is the time to really appreciate that time that's given to us and go more into an appreciation mode for the time that's being provided to us. And it may be opening you up to something totally different that you didn't know that existed within you. So being able to reflect and meditate on yourself could be something good that could come out of this.
That's always a good thing. Self-reflection is always a good thing.
Yeah, but we go so fast, we move so fast. This world is so busy, and we all just really need to. This is one way of forcing us to sit down, right? Just sit down.
What else you got?
Let's see. Turn off the news and turn your home into an oasis. Your state of mind shapes your peace, not what's going on outside, right? Kind of what we were just talking about. Decide what this time is for you and yours.
Yeah. Well, we've always lived by that rule of making our home our paradise on earth.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's a guideline that that's good for any family to follow, because as long as you have all those necessities for the type of entertainment you prefer, you'll always be able to have a good time in your home.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else you got?
Staying connected. So making sure you're staying connected. How can you stay connected? There's so many like virtual ways to stay connected through virtual opportunities like your Zoom video. You have your FaceTime that you can connect with people. You have social media you can connect with people. And just really trying to find out a way to really, really stay connected with friends and family. And I know that, some of the things that are trending are like the virtual um, happy hours. Those are trending. So people are just kind of doing that stuff virtually, which is kind of cool. I know to you,
like
I'm
literal
looking at
happy
your
hour.
face. I'm
Like
looking at your face.
literal happy
You
hour.
get your drinks, and you sit there and you chill and you talk. You're just not in a bar, right? You're sitting there with your friends. You can get some games or play some games. I know one of the things that our school did for the kids was the virtual bingo. That was pretty cool to keep the kids interested and keep them, in their social arena. They really, really had a good time with that. You could tell how excited they were, even though they couldn't get out. So yes, yes, a virtual happy hour. You get your drink
Right.
and you enjoy your drink. Right?
I can see that working.
Even if your drink of choice is non-alcoholic, that's okay. It's still your drink.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So being able to stay connected. Someone put on here dance, and I just had to reply back to that. How does that work? Like if you don't know how to dance like me? But I guess
keep your audio turned on, you turn your video off, and just tell everybody you're dancing. They won't know.
Right.
That you're not dancing.
So even if you don't know how to dance, just listen to the music, I guess. But you can try to dance. I didn't say I never tried to learn how to dance or never tried to dance. I just have no rhythm. It's really bad.
You have rhythm.
No.
You can clap your hands to a beat, then you have rhythm.
Have you ever witnessed that in this
Yes.
household? Oh, well, I guess I just learned something new about myself.
You can clap your hands on rhythm or in sync with everyone else, then you have rhythm.
Here's one. So I read an article that the sale of sex toys have gone up like over 100% in certain countries, including America. So someone actually put on here have sex, right?
Yeah.
And one of the responses to that was she'll get tired of it. She's gonna get tired of it. She's gonna get tired of the sex. But when we're talking about sex, I think, and we talk about this quite a bit with people, it's not all about the penetration, right?
Right.
And you have to know how to really connect with people or connect with your mate versus just always being about penetration. Because yes, that can get tiring if you're consistently doing it every day, all day. Like that's not a thing that's going to keep you intrigued with one another. You gotta you gotta get creative, you gotta do other things to make it fun and interesting, and you gotta take it beyond that penetration stage.
Well, I think whoever responded with have sex, they meant engaging in sexual pleasures.
Right.
Not necessarily sexual. I don't think they necessarily meant engaging in sexual intercourse every day.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure they meant engaging in sexual pleasure.
Exactly.
So looking at it from the perspective of sexual pleasure, yeah, you can do that every day.
Yep.
You can do that all day. You really can do that all day.
Yes.
Because there's many, many, many different ways to be creative with your sexual foreplay, which will be anything you do that's leading up to the act.
But not the actual active stuff.
Right. You don't
have
that
every day, all day. You can't do that. That will get very tiring and boring, and unless you're adding more to it. But yeah.
Well, it depends on the person's sexual education, because if you look at tantric sexual practices, you can engage in sexual activities that involve penetration for hours at a time. But both partners, have to know and understand tantric sex. Because if both of you don't understand how it works, then you won't be able to engage in it for, an extended period of time.
But every day?
Beyond the average, yes, you'd be able to do it every day. You'd be able to do it every day and reach the sexual goals that you're trying to reach. You would be able to do it every day.
So y'all hear this sex educator over here? So
but that's and
that's something that some of us probably need to get on and start learning about to see if it's something we'll be interested in, right?
Yeah, it's definitely something that you would have to take time out to learn. And I would suggest if you're going to do it, you start in small steps. One of the things that a lot of people do, but they do it without knowing it's an exercise that's used in tantric sex, is peaking. And that's basically when you get right there on the verge of having an orgasm, but you stop yourself, and then you just start the cycle all over again. Right. People do it all the time, but they don't know that it's a tantric sex practice. But that's one method that people use to extend their, sexual encounter. So it's there's nothing mystical about it. You'll find that if both of you are practicing it, yeah, you'll get much more sexual pleasure with every encounter that you have. So maybe you should respond to that person who posted sex as their means of surviving. Respond to them and suggest that they pick up a book on tantric sex.
Okay. So for those of you who are listening, if you do not, you may have heard of it. I've heard of it. But if you have not indulged or learned or been educating yourself on it, maybe that's something that you can tap into during this quarantine phase right now. Let's see what else is on here.
You don't always have to beat the pussy up. You don't. I mean, seriously. Like, okay, so ladies, seriously, if I wish we had an audience so I can ask y'all and see your response. Like, by show of hands, I would ask you, how many of you really love to have it beat up every time you have sex? No, you don't. No. But many guys are under that impression that should be their goal. You know what I mean?
That is true. I believe
beat
that
it up
from when I was dating. I do believe that. And, I remember having conversations with guys and saying that I don't know what you did with the last ones, but I am not that person. You really need to learn me. Because I am not that last person that you were with. So, that was a frequent conversation to make sure that, they understood I am not the last woman that you were with. Just saying. Right. Like, no, we're not doing that. But we also had, stop watching all news channels, which is very important. I know the news is taking over our television, but there's still sitcoms on, there's movies on, there's still so many other things that we can watch to put our attention on, to take away from what we're hearing about the virus, because, a lot is not going to change within 24 hours unless they say they found the cure, right? So a lot of the news that's being put out there is just little bits and pieces of what's going on as all of this is unfolding, and they're doing whatever they're doing out there to find a vaccine or whatever. And the news is not any different. Stay home. Protect yourself, protect others. So you definitely want to make sure that you're turning the TV off or changing it to something else that's going to put some different energy in your household, because if not, you're going to be very consumed. You're going to start feeling some anxiety about what's happening, and you don't want that to happen. But definitely just trying to, stay focused on something other than the news.
Right. Because the first few minutes of the news, they're going to tell you what's the current statistics on the COVID-19 issue.
Right.
So once you get past those first few minutes, there's really no need to continue watching, because eventually, if you're a person who watches the news regularly, you know eventually they're going to start talking about the doom and gloom and who's died and who shot who, and you don't need to continue to uh, cloud your mind with that type of those type of thoughts.
It affects your mental. It affects your
get
mental.
the current information on the status on the COVID-19 status. Then start watching something else, because like you were saying, it affects your mental.
It'll drain you mentally, and I think a lot of people don't realize like mental drainage is one of the worst things you can feel. So you definitely want to keep your mental state clear. And for all of you who may be at home and not getting up and getting dressed and just kind of going from the bed to the couch to the TV, like change that. You know what I mean? Like get up, put on some clothes so that you can feel like you're doing something, because it's only going to make it harder for you to get back out there in the real world when things do come back. And not only that, that alone still puts mental drainage on you when you're not getting dressed for days, when you're not moving around and doing what you would normally do. You know,
right.
Stay out of the TV. You know, get up, go and do something. Yeah. Find a There are so many things that you can figure out. Like there's so many crafts you can get into.
Right.
There's so many things you can look online and figure out what can you do at this time to keep you active. That's the goal. Right. Like stay active throughout the day.
Well, let me just add this to what you're saying. The WHO, World Health Organization, and the CDC never said you couldn't go outside. They never said that. You can go outside. You can go stand in your yard. You can go sit in your car. Turn, listen to some music in your car. Go walk around your yard. But y'all understand? You can go outside. Get out of the house. Get out the house. Go get some fresh air. Take your lawn chair out there and sit in your yard. If you have a shade tree, sit up under your shade tree. Read a book, or just if you really want to do something outside of your house, but still stay connected, take your phone out there with you and do your social media stuff out there in your yard. You don't have to be engaged with anyone while you're outside. That's what the whole issue was. They was telling people don't go anywhere so that they wouldn't be, engaging with other people. You can still go outside. I've been outside a few times, as a matter of fact. Just going out on your porch and just getting some fresh air will actually change your whole attitude about this condition that we're currently in.
But I think it's not just going. I think a lot of people need to understand that going outside, you have to consume the natural vitamin D in your body.
Well,
you need to get that in your body.
Get that sunlight.
And I encourage you to please do your research on lack of and what it can do to your body. So when you can go out and sit in your yard, get some sun, get that natural stuff that's good for you. It will do you a lot of good. And don't allow this, like you said, you can move around, you can walk around. You want to do that because if you're consistently just eating and going to the couch, you're still only putting yourself at high risk of having health issues when this thing is over. You've been active, you've been doing what you need to do, and then all of a sudden, you're saying to yourself, this has put me at a standing point, but it really hasn't. You just got to keep yourself active and move around so that you're not increasing your health risk once this is over, to where you can't get out there and enjoy more when things open back up. So I think that's very important to make sure that you're keeping on top of your health just by doing a little movement every day. You don't want to just sit in front of the TV.
Right. Go outside in your space.
But there's so many ways that we have to find how to survive this whole thing. And I think those were some good tips that were put out there. Do some things that's going to boost your state of euphoria. You want to meditate. If you don't know how to meditate, just sit and think. But think about positive things.
Think about the goal.
Good stuff. Think about what you're trying to accomplish and how you're going to get there, right? Think about who you know that can help you get there. Because you got so many people around you that can help you do what you need. You just got to start asking, right? What else can they do, Mr. Claiborne?
You just mentioned a great thing they could do. They could sit down and think of a master plan that will help them to achieve a major short-term goal that they've been putting on. You know,
yeah,
that's something that they could do that wouldn't consume, so much of their time to where they would lose interest, but it will take up enough time to where they will feel busy because they'll be putting all their thoughts on
right.
What can they do to achieve this major short-term goal.
Right.
So
right.
that's just one thing that you could do by yourself.
And I know a lot of you are probably working from home as well. If you're working from home, make sure you're getting up, walking. I don't know how many people actually sit at their desk all day for 8 hours when they're in a place of business. So get up, move around. No, I hope that's not the case. I hope people don't just go to work, sit at their desk for 8 hours, 4 hours, then get up. You gotta get up every hour.
Some people are they are accustomed to that.
That's not good. So let's adopt something new.
They get up, they go to the bathroom, they get up, go eat lunch. Other than that, the rest of the time they're at their desk.
Well, I'm encouraging home workers, even when you go back to work, every hour you need to get up and walk for 3 to 5 minutes. Just get up and move. Because if you don't, it can cause back issues. It can cause you to be even more tired. Health issues. You just don't want that. You got to get up and move, and it'll help push your energy further.
That's
so
true.
I want to challenge even the home workers and those people who do that every day at work. Don't do it. Stop.
Get up, move around.
Stop.
Most of the phones now have distance trackers on them, and so you can turn yours on, or if you don't have it on your phone, download the app and walk around your place. Just if you don't want to go outside, just walk around your place and try to get in a mile of walking. If you walk upstairs and back down the stairs from the kitchen to the living room, you might have to put in a quarter mile before you realize you walked a quarter of a mile.
Yep. Don't forget about the kids. Make sure you're staying active with the kids. Be empathetic towards your kids during this time, though. Seriously, because we did not have to experience this when we were younger. So there are some things that they are experiencing that we may not be aware of.
True.
And you want to make sure you're able to sit down and have a conversation with them and figure out what they're feeling and where they're coming from. We want to know so that we can start learning, we can figure out how to best help them navigate through all of this, because this is new to all of us, right? So if you're having mental breakdowns, what do you think the kids are going through, right? If you're struggling with dealing with this, they're struggling too. Their whole social life just came to a complete halt. Kids don't understand that. Adults understand that because as we grow older, we understand it's okay to cut people off every now and then. We're cool with that, right? And maybe this is helping us cut people off in our life that aren't supposed to be there, but that's another conversation for another day.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of lessons learned during this process because we have nothing but a lot of time to think. But just be empathetic towards your children and keep them involved and keep them, try to do as much as you can to have fun with them.
Yeah, this is a great time for family night, playing board games, just to keep the children active. Playing card games.
I've seen a lot of those TikTok videos. We haven't done one yet. We probably should, maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm trying to mention things to that will get them off of social media.
True.
Off of their phone.
But they love TikTok, just saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, you definitely want to take it offline as much as you can. And this may even be that time to show them that there is a way to have fun offline. This is all trial and error, I guess, at this point, right? Help your friends, call and check on people, please. Don't forget to call and check on your friends, even your strongest friends. I don't care if you think they're the strongest friend you have and they can get through anything. You never know what people are feeling at this point. You never know what this may have done to someone. So call and check on people. That's one of the best ways to really, really survive this too, because we need to check on each other and make sure we're all good.
That's a very good thing to do if you're good friends with your neighbors. The people who live next door to you, people that live directly across the street from you. Y'all can set up a chair at the end of your driveway and holler at each other. Hold the actual conversation conversation. No, I'm serious.
No, I know.
You know, you take a lawn chair, put it at the end of your driveway, you know, or put it at the end of your sidewalk, and y'all hold the conversation. It's better than picking up the phone and talking to them because you'll get to see their expressions. Now I know we have FaceTime and video calling, but still, going outside and holding a conversation with somebody is so much better than talking over the phone or doing a video call. And it's nothing to just pick up a chair, pull a chair from the kitchen table if you have to. Take it outside, sit it on your porch. You ask your neighbor, meet you outside. He or she can stay in their yard. You practice the social distancing thing, and y'all having a real conversation.
Yeah. And I wanna kind of end on this note that, you know, even though we're saying, you know, make sure you're staying connected virtually and taking that time out to be with your family and check on everybody. One of the biggest things when we were talking in the beginning, we said that this has given us a time to slow down. And with that being said, it is very important that we understand and remember self-care. And remember that even through all of this, no matter, you know, if 10 people are in your house, you need to find a way to find that time for yourself, whatever it is. Going outside, sit in your car, I don't care. Go to the bathroom and close the door, I don't care. But find your time for you. And it doesn't have to be a lot of time every day. It can be 10 minutes. It can be 5 minutes. Sometimes that's all we need is just time to breathe and literally not think about anything but breathing. But just find time to calm yourself in the midst of all of this and being patient with yourself, because a lot of us are going through a lot of different learning curves right now with things that we didn't have to deal with before.
I'm good because I used to get put on punishment a lot when I was young. So me being stuck in the house is nothing. I was that kid. So
well, I'm struggling.
And I'm not trying to make light of anybody's situation. I'm just speaking for myself. This is, you know, it just remind me of when I would be put on punishment for a couple of weeks or 3 weeks. You know,
I think that even though I can get out to go to the essential place that I have to go to daily, it's still just the whole idea of feeling like I'm so used to being out and about everywhere that it's so hard for me to digest. Like I can't just go when I want to go and do it when I want to do it. You know, I'm literally like, okay, well.
I understand, and that's usually when I just step outside when I get that urge. Yeah, I'll just step outside.
It's really hard. It's really, really hard. Because no one wants anyone telling them what to do. Like, don't tell me I can't go here. And then you close everything down so we can't go anywhere, which I understand the reason why. So I'm not knocking that at all. I'm just saying the whole idea in my mind of not being able to move when I want to move. But I'm very appreciative that I'm having time to slow down because, yeah, I probably would be 100 places over the weekend when now I can actually sit down and relax and enjoy my weekend and enjoy my time. So celebrate all your wins. Find some wins in the midst of this. Whatever you have accomplished or achieved in the midst of this, if you just realized there was another way that you could motivate somebody, just celebrate that some kind of way, okay? But just remember to celebrate you in the midst of it and your accomplishments that you do achieve during this.
All right. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Love Marriage Fantasy Podcast. We will have another episode coming every week, so look out for those. What days are the podcast episodes released on, Star?
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Look us up, lovemarriagefantasy.com.
That's right, lovemarriagefantasy.com. We'll talk to y'all in the next episode.